That is right, boys and girls. Do not do whiskey and endo. I was waiting for the perfect line to come in on. Thank you very much, Radio Mike. Huzzah! Got him! We're off to a raging start. Fantastic. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, whatever time you're listening to the podcast. Right now it is evening right here. It is Wobbly Player Syndrome. Welcome, the 40k podcast, where we can still broadcast because we're not making money. And with us we have, I'm Greg, g'day. And over here we have, on the other point, that makes no sense. The one who's on Endo and Scotch would like to be, that's Radio Mike.
Hey!
And we've got Safe for Work Mark.
Hey, everybody.
And we've got our regular now, of course, well, there's our regular. Our regular is Eval just subscribing. And our now new regular, Adam.
Hey!
He's wearing the wrong IP, but that's what we're going to be talking about today, isn't it?
It depends. I may be the droid you're looking for.
It's true. It's true.
Well, you won't get a cease and desist from GW.
Yes. So this month we are. There's a lot of love and a lot of hatred, a lot of passion going on in the community, and in all different ways of how Warhammer are behaving at the moment. So we're going to have a talk about it to basically get it. We'll have a little vent. We'll talk and stuff like that. But then we want to lock it away because I know a lot of people on my normal podcast stream, we get into it and it gets very passionate. But that's what we'll do. What are we calling this episode? Stop right there, you heretic!
Yeah, heretic.
Yes, why not? If ever you want to give us some advice on some titles of episodes, please help.
Sometimes.
we kind of need it.
It is usually. Right, we're about to go live. Okay, it's episode. What episode is it? I don't know. Quick. 42. Okay, I'll go with that one. What are we calling it? And then there's dead silence. So it's a mad panic. But we are here tonight. So we'll get through the regular stuff because I think it's going to get rather passionate. And we might go very long or might go very short depending if someone can flip a table or not. It's going to be great. So let's start off with...
I'm in no condition to be flipping tables tonight.
I'll be down at your place in 5 minutes.
No, don't flip my table. So we'll get on with our regular... Oh, by the way, how are you, folks? How are you?
Good, thanks, Greg. There you go.
Good.
I was
How are you?
asking the three of you.
Oh, I'm good.
I've been better.
That's right. Laughed so hard he split a rib. That's what happened.
Yes, thus the endone and the no scotch.
I've got that covered. Okay, good. All right, let's get on to what's going on in the background. Something just turned on in the background for Adam. Is there anything good? Are you winning?
No, it's Queen background. That cat must have bumped it.
Sure. We believe
It's a
you.
ghost in the background.
Yeah. All right, let's get on with the regular stuff. Take it away, Radio Mike. Recent releases for the month.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're going to start off with the easy ones. We had those two limited models, the Lord Hazmateth the Resplendent and Knight Questor Dacian Anvil, which were pretty cool. There was the Necron and the
the made to order
were only available for a week.
The made to order ones. Yeah.
Pre-order.
They came out last month. We had the Sisters of Battle Combat Patrol come out, the Sisters of Battle Castigator, Estrid Thurga, the Reliquant at Arms. There was a couple of cool new Sisters models. There was a bunch of Battlezone stuff. I think some of it was just repackaged old terrain, but there was Battlezone Mechanicus, the Ferrotonic Furnace, the Galvanic Magnavent, the Transferic Gantries. There was a bunch of terrain stuff.
Oh, those words.
Necromunda House of Shadows came out for all the cool new Delark stuff, including the Delark Nacht Ghouls, the Psygeists, and the Piscian Spectre, or Piscian Spectre.
The
That's what your
Piscians.
mum said.
Just a bit pissy.
Yeah, that's the worst bit about those spectres. You got to dodge the Piscian.
See, this is the thing about Delacqua, is nobody can say it the same.
Well, yeah, I've heard people call it Delaque as well.
Yeah, I've heard
But
that.
I've always just called it Delark because
I
it's
just-
the least weird one.
I just call them Dark City. That's what they remind me of.
You call them those gets in trench coats.
Yeah.
Then there was
And
also
Mr.
the plastic
Hand.
Warlock. the plastic Orlock weapons came out, which was cool. And then the more contentious end of the new releases.
Well,
Hexfire
not
came
technically
out,
a new
kind
release.
of,
Pre-order
arguably.
for anyone who doesn't live in the greatest place ever. That's right, New Zealand. No,
Actually,
Yeah,
maybe
so,
I'll get it in New Zealand.
no, New Zealand don't get it either.
Hexfire, the Grey Knights Codex, the Thousand Suns Codex.
Hello!
Hello.
Good night, Alex. The 2 new Warhammer Adventures books are also coming out.
The last
You'll be very
ones
excited
too.
by that.
Yeah.
Oh, they're the last
They're
ones.
the last
I
one of
hadn't
the
seen those.
series, yeah.
Oh, yeah, because it's the Tomb of the Necron. They're
Yeah.
going back to finish what they started in the Tomb of the Necrons. And so that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
And that's kind of all of it. But yeah, Hexfire is really pissing people off because Sydney has done shut down and no one can get it.
Correct.
People went
And
on
all
an
of our
adventure.
copies, all of Australia's copies are stuck
And New
in
Zealand.
Sydney.
Australia and New Zealand
they're
both.
also stuck in New Zealand?
Australia and
Or
New
all
Zealand
New
cannot
Zealand
do
stuck in-
any. Australia and New Zealand can't pre-order.
So what, are they stuck in Sydney or have they just shut down
I
Auckland?
don't know. I don't know why they're shut down, but it says Australia and New Zealand orders that cannot
You
be
know why
processed.
Auckland is shut down? They're waiting for October.
Yes.
sad.
I had finally decided, yes, I'm going to make a new army. It was umming and ahhing, and I'm closing in on finishing all my painted stuff. Said no hobbyist ever. And Adam and I were going, well, I want Thousand Suns. And Adam goes, well, I like grey.
Oh. I don't really like grey. It's well, silver, but it's a different army.
Yeah.
Well,
Back in my day, they were grey.
if you expand it to grey, that just means you only need to primer them.
You don't need a prime if it's silver. There's a silver spray
Lead
can,
belcher.
mate. Lead belcher for the win.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then highlight it with, lead belcher
And-
from a
and-
distance.
And shade it with lead belcher.
Closer up. We are painters. Our next
Painters
Yeah.
extraordinary.
So I am disappointed in that we cannot order. We can't go to can't order online. We can't order it from our local Warhammer, and we can't even order it from our stockist either. Our hobby stockist. Very frustrating because we know how quickly all these box sets last. They'll be there for months once they go on sale. And if I can't get a hex file, well, I don't get a new army. I was excited, but if I can't get it, I'm not excited. I don't. Yeah, that's me.
Still have a pile of shame. I don't need more to add to the pile of shame, but it would be nice to add to it.
Your FOMO has just become Mo.
Oh, what,
Yeah.
this?
Yeah. No, missing out. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not fearing it anymore. It's just I'll miss out. I think the one thing I am fearing of missing out is the dice. I really want those
Okay.
dice.
Go to bed.
The
Someone
Grey
will be
Knights-
selling those.
Give me my Grey Codex now. Well, Baldas, why aren't you here talking about it?
Yeah, I would like that as well.
We can push one of these guys out. It's all right.
Okay, bye.
No,
My children
camera.
do seem to be trying to sneak in and take me away.
You can still join the voice part of it if you want to have your opinion heard. Anyway, so yeah, that's disappointing. I just feel that when they sort of go, it's now available, I won't see that notification and they'll be all gone.
Yeah. You just know it's going to be a mess.
Yeah. So thanks.
And to be fair, it's not their fault.
No, this one's not
Sydney's
theirs.
fault.
This is Sydney who... Anyway. All our Sydney
This is-
fans, hello. You're the
Oh,
good
this is
people,
for
right?
Adventure takers.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's move on. Hobby progress, please. Who's got one? Oh, come on, folks. Hobby
What?
progress.
Who's
Mike,
got what?
you're up for hobby progress.
Hobby progress. Sorry, I didn't hear you say that. I just heard you say who's got one.
Who's
Yeah,
got
I was
Yeah. Yeah, that's all I
Who's
heard.
got one?
And I'm like, what?
Yeah, the rest of the sentence cut out. So hobby progress. I've been really sick this last month. Thus, I've ended up with a busted rib. But I kind of got a spattering of undercoating and a little bits of base coating on a bunch of Marine captains because one can never have enough Primaris captains.
There's
apparently.
9 in that photo, I think.
There was 9 in that photo, yeah.
Jeez.
And then you got the sergeants, are they? Or the lieutenants?
You haven't quite got enough for a Legion yet, but
Yeah.
you're
No,
on
I
your
do,
way.
'cause you can't have a Primaris captain of the 2nd Company in the Dark Angels because you can't do it.
Fair
Like
enough.
because they're all blacks and
Yeah.
land speeders.
Good point.
So yeah, I've got
Yeah,
the
but-
full company's
but-
worth.
But that's only for the chapter, not the Legion.
Oh well, the Legion, yes.
Oh,
But I don't want to collect all those additional chapters. I don't want a fucking Angels of Vengeance. Actually, I do have an Angels of Vengeance army, but that's not the point.
I've seen through the charade.
Many armies. But yeah, just like I haven't kept up with painting the assault intercessors. I got distracted building redemptionists and building captains and undercoating chaplains and librarians and just been bouncing all over the place this month.
Oh, that bounce has broken your rib. It's crazy.
Yeah, too much bouncing.
Who's next on the list? Oh, it's me. Okay. I've been painting my Drakkari. I finally finished all the witches. So that's all. I'm very excited that I've done that. It means I have painted 1,500 points out of my 2,200 points of Drakkari. So I'm so close. And I've been working on Reavers. 15 of them. Too many. I go, right, I finally... Oh my god. Well, the Zanzigors were exciting. But yes, I have actually got I've got an HQ squad now because I did the Succubus. So I'm actually very pleased that I can see the light at the end of the tunnel with the guard in the Drakkari. Because we all know I haven't really enjoyed that. But there's some have really come out painted quite nice. Some things I've done I've really enjoyed. But overall, it feels like, and it looks like, unfortunately, just get it done, army. They look great as a group. Don't look at them individually. Yeah.
But I'm looking at one individually now.
Stop it. All right, Mark. All I got for you is your Hive Guard.
No. Well, they were done. They were done for last painted standing.
Yep.
And they're very cool. I also have another 5 Gene Stealers on the boil at the moment. They still need to be based and finished. But they're about 2/3 done, something like that.
Well, that's why it's called hobby progress. It's not hobby finish.
Well, I'm hoping to have a Gene Stealer for last painted standing.
Ooh. I feel that I will have... Well, we'll talk about that. The Kit Bash will probably be my one. That'll be the last painted standing. Fingers crossed.
So, yeah.
All right,
I think they'll be quick.
Adam, we've got a couple of things for you.
Yeah, so I've been working on my Chaos Space Marines. I think I did an Obliterator. I've been working on trying to bruise flesh and get that flesh looking good. A Possessed guy. That was my latest one. I finished him yesterday.
Yep.
The gold kind of looks a bit tacky, but yeah.
Gold? Tacky?
Yeah, it's true. And the cat hair as well really does add the piece de resistance to the character. And I'm looking, and I've also got a 10-man squad of pinks, which...
Sorry, 10-man squad... Pinks?
Of pink horrors.
I thought you said pinks with a G. I was very confused.
I thought he said pegs.
Pegs? 10-man squad of pegs?
Yeah, 10-man squad of pegs. The new chapter.
The peg of the Imperium. We'll hold this place together.
And the way I'm going, it's looking like I'll probably have a pink horror for my finished painting.
Ooh. Good. Finally, something that we can beat.
And then I'll bring
That's
a greater
something
demon.
That's something that none of us really discussed in our hobby progress there, the Kit Bash.
Well, I haven't put up the Kit Bash photos. I was about to do that.
And I failed
Now.
at Kit Bash.
So the Kit Bash photos are up. So it's progress of across the group and some other outside who listen, watch us and stuff like that. So we're seeing Game on Steve's at the moment. He's what is it? A Death Jester Noise Marine Spider-Man.
Exact second.
Yeah, it's based on that a Spider-Man comic.
Yes.
I do like how he's got like the little magazine.
Yeah, it's very cool. So these are all just various stages. I believe that's your stage there, Michael, with the shoulders and stuff like that. So what are you working on, Michael?
I am building the Nemean Reaver, who's a 30k character. Yeah, there he is there. He's basically a Black Shield Dark Angel, but he's also a Knights Errant. So he actually has rules where you can use him as a Black Shield or as a Knights Errant.
Okay.
So I'm probably going to build him as a Knights Errant because I don't really want to run a Black Shield army. And
Fair.
for those who aren't into 30k, the Knights Errant are they're the proto Grey Knights, basically.
Oh, okay.
So
There
they're
you
the 30k inquisitorial space marines who run
Right.
around in silver armor.
Silver? That's not grey.
Yeah. So yeah, he's going to be painted up like a Grey Knight, basically, in like silver and gold armor.
Fair enough. Well, one of your pictures that shouldn't be there got snuck in. How rude. So, either you two got
That's
something?
those I was saying, talking about spray painting.
Yeah. Either you two participating?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I had plans.
I had plans.
If I do, I'm not working tomorrow, so I may be able to do it. I may start it, but right now I'm failing. I'm failing hardcore on it.
What was your original plan? What do you think?
It was going to be a war boss in a mega armor. I was going to do the stealth battle suit with a little Gretchen head in an orc body.
Oh, yeah.
And then I changed my mind. I was going to do once again mega war boss, in a war boss in a mega armor, but have it as a Contemptor dreadnought, and just have a little Gretchen head inside it. And he's like, that's two different types. I could probably do the Contemptor dreadnought one, probably a little bit easier, less parts.
I remember you telling me this. I saw basically a grot trying to act in one arm, another grot in another arm, and trying to coordinate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mark, will you do anything? Did you have...
Nope.
Nope. Okay, fine.
Nope.
I'll move on. That one there. Oh, I just missed it. So I was tossing up what character I was going to do. One of the legendized ones from either Salamanders or Death Guard. And I am doing Necrosius, the Undying, for the Death Guard. It is being using the Chaos Lord body from Blackstone, a Death Guard head, and Grey Knight blade. And I'm going to use some green stuff because somebody highlighted to me, where's the different material? Because I forgot there has to be a different material, not just all plastic. Like, crap! So I got to do some green stuff on it. It's fine. It's fine. And I had this. That was going to be individual, but it was also going to be part of a face-off where he's coming across. I got the board here that he's coming across, and there'll be a marine basically missing a limb, dying, but he's holding his sword up in defiance. And in my head, I had, Necrosis going, "You may know no fear, but I know no mercy." Splat. Yeah, that was the scene I had in my head. I reckon I'll get maybe a small part finished. Yeah, there you go. And you can see some of the artwork, some of the pictures coming up, if you are watching on the stream or the YouTube, is also from some of our viewers as well. We do also have, I think it's Nathan's in there with some corn stuff as one of our followers. That there is actually a demon from one of our followers. And one person I was quite surprised who's stumped is Bulldust on what to do. I thought he would be all over this. But he's just painted everything. He's got nothing left.
I think Nathan's building a Khorne Berserker Primaris scale for Necromunda.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah.
Because his Gabriel Seth model uses parts that he used to use for his old Necromunda Space Marine, so he's building a new one.
Okay. Cool. All right. Battle reports. Anyone had any?
I don't think I did.
No,
Our
I
meet's
can't.
next week.
Next week is our meet. So we'll have a few battle reports.
Did we get the last painted standing? Does that count?
We did have last painted standing. Yes, that is true. I just didn't have any still photos to show. So what's showing up at the moment is a battle report between Bulldust and Chris. They are duking it out with the Custodies versus Harlequins. I think it's 2-1 or 3-2 the way of Harlequins at the moment. So it is some good battles that are going on. But that's all the images I have for battle. 2-1. There you go. Thank you, Bulldust. 2-1 to the Harlequins at the moment. So it is interesting to watch. And you can see some of those battle reports write-ups on our Facebook page, RLG40K. They do like to write a good story, and it's pretty cool. Just got to get Chris to finish painting those bloody things.
I just want to put it out there. I want to play Bulldust with his Custodies with Bellacor's new rules.
You did?
No, I want to. I reckon that Dreadnought will last one turn.
Ooh. The gauntlet's been thrown down, Bulldust. How are you going to take that?
Yeah, but if you reckon you're going to win, isn't that going to negatively...
No. I didn't say I'm going to win. I didn't say I'm going to...
Spoon?
I said I'm not going to win. I said I'm going to take his Dreadnought down.
Whatever happens after that.
He said bring it on. He said bring it on.
Yeah, he's up for
You're
it.
just going to run in, kill the Dreadnought, and then just nipple surf in front of all of the rest of the army.
And Bellacor's just going to go in with his sword because invulnerable saves mean nothing.
So, yes, we did have a last painted standing. I'm afraid I didn't have the pictures ready for that. I do apologise.
Oh, we already know who won, so it's all right.
So, no pictures means it didn't exist. Sorry, folks. So we did do that. It was Mark, myself, and Adam who played. Yeah, it was.
Mm-hmm.
You were very disappointed with that first round.
So I brought out a succubus. Mark, you had...
I had a lone Hiveguard model.
And I had a Venom Crawler.
Venom, I kept calling it Venom Thrope or something. That was weird. Venom Crawler. So, the battle itself. What do you mean I was upset? Did I win one? Oh, no, I didn't. That's right.
The first battle, you got basically shot off the table.
I don't think I even got to do anything, did I?
You moved. Because I'm pretty sure you went first.
I got first turn, so I moved, and then I was dead.
Yep.
Yes. Fine. That's fine.
I think you beat me in the other two rounds, though.
Yes, I think because I finally got in contact with you, and that was it. That was done.
And you managed incredible saves.
Yes.
Incredible saves.
Yeah, I was pretty hopeful with her, and I thought you did all right. But then I came up with a Venom Crawler, and because it's a vehicle, I have to win on sixes. It wasn't pretty. So unfortunately,
I didn't do too good on the one-on-one.
No, did I get you once? I got you once because you took down the Hive Torrent 2-0, I believe.
Yeah. I managed to bracket him, but otherwise, just couldn't get enough damage down.
Yeah. So we'll do it again at the end of the month. It'll be interesting. So what we have, it looks like we might have a Pink Horror, a Gene Stealer, and the Croesus the Undying. So that should be interesting.
At worst, if it's not a Pink Horror, it'll be a Chaos Space Marine with 1 wound.
Because no Codex. Yeah. Otherwise, if I can't get that done, I'll have probably a Reaver. So another thing flying around the corners. Yay. Cool. All right. So, now we're going to have our short break. Because then we can get really passionate and talk about the topic. It's going to be exciting, folks. Do not miss it. Make sure you're ready at the keyboard. We want some keyboard warriors. And let us... All right, we'll go there. And
Furious typing commence.
Yes, that's it. So, throw over the advert. That means you've got 30 seconds to do your hair. All right, see you soon.
We are Rollers, and we have the games for you. Be it board games, card games, dice games, or party games. You name it, and we have it. Find us online at rollersboardgames.com and follow us on Facebook and Instagram at rollersboardgames.
From acoustic to distortion, Storyboard Concept is music that's honest, relaxing, and full-bore rockin' music. Follow Colin at storyboardconcept.bandcamp.com.
beards.
There it is. Ha!
Yes, we were talking about combing beards. Very good. Well done, Mark. Nice intro. Looking good.
Yeah, I comb my beard all the time.
Yeah. Welcome. There is thank you to Rollers Board Games. There is still a sale on if you go and buy some stuff from them, and make sure you put in Autumn 20. You'll get, guess what, 20% off. So make sure you go do that. I haven't caught up with Colin for a while, so I'm not sure what he's doing at the moment. That's Colin for Storyboard Concept, who has provided us with all his music. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Excellent. Got that out of the way. Wonderful. Okay. Stop that, you heretic! That is the topic. It is been a very loud topic online and multiple Warhammer communities. We thought we'd have our say. If you're not unsure what is going on in the community, Michael's going to tell you about it.
So, basically, after Games Workshop hired all those fan animation creators to work on their new Warhammer Plus, a little while later it came out that a couple of the animators who said no were told to cease and desist, basically. And not long after that happened, Games Workshop updated their webpage and put on a bunch of new information about how they regard their intellectual property, which caused a shit fight because they basically announced that they consider all fan animations to be as bad as counterfeit models in terms of copyright infringement. Which caused everyone to shit themselves, basically.
So I've just linked their intellectual property guidelines in chat so people can have a reference point. That's exciting. Who doesn't want to look at legal work? And no, we're not here to talk legal. That is not us.
Oh, I lay awake at night dreaming about reading legal paperwork.
Nothing like the fine print.
Oh, you should see that website. It's got huge terms and conditions.
Ooh, trucks and
I just find there's too many sharp objects, sharp corners, and gives me paper cuts when I wipe my butt.
The thing that gets me about this whole thing is just the level of surprise and shock from the community because, I don't know, I think people got too used to GW being good, weird GW, rather than being shit GW that the rest of us have been experiencing for 30 years?
Yeah, so 8th edition, they did a lot of goodwill. They seem to be listening to the clients. I'm not at work. Shut up. Listening to the fans. And
they seem to be engaging positively with stakeholders.
Yeah. Yes, exactly right. It was a focus group. Yes. They pivoted.
Evidently, this wasn't making enough money, so now they've gone back to screwing everybody over.
I don't think it's. No, I know what I think, and I would like other people to speak first because if I start, nobody else is going to talk.
I am cynical, and I am used to them doing inexplicably dumb things. So, like this doesn't come as a surprise to me, and frankly, I'm surprised it didn't happen sooner.
I think we all saw it coming. We talked about Warhammer Plus, and we just brought it up. Where is this going to lead to?
I'm pretty sure at least some of us did mention this as well. Now that they're making their own content, is this going to cause them to crack down on everything else?
Yeah.
Because it's the kind of thing Games Workshop do,
Yeah.
If it's a point to make money, they will do it. It's a business at the end of the day.
Correct.
They've got to make a profit.
See, the other thing is that there's the whole aspect of being able to enforce their copyright. They have to defend their IP. They don't have to do it to this extent, but they have to. They do have to, put the effort in because otherwise they can't. They don't have the precedent.
Yeah, there isn't a point where they have to defend their IP. It's not this. Like, no other company does this. You know, none of the other major ones, BattleTech, even Disney with Star Wars, don't do this.
Yeah.
Star Trek don't do this.
Look at
Games Workshop
Nintendo.
are taking it further. Nintendo do dumb shit too. I will pay that.
Look at Nintendo on YouTube and things like that. You know, as I said, there are companies out there that do this.
The companies in that science fiction 40k style sphere, like BattleTech, Star Wars, Star Trek, their contemporaries, none of them are doing this. Star Wars and BattleTech actively encourage fan animation.
And this is just it, I guess. I mean, it depends on the extent that they're prepared to go to. This sounds like a good ideas fairy type thing, and we knew it was going to come. We just didn't expect quite the extent that it has.
Yeah. As I described it on one, it was a monkey's paw. You know, someone was like, "Man, it'd be great if they hired all these fan animators and made some cool stuff."
Yeah.
And then off in the distance, the fingers of the monkey paw went curl, and we waited for that second boot to drop. You know.
So, I asked, because as I said, every time I have my hobby nights and stuff, this comes up in the last week, because it's just such a hot topic at the moment. And I just put it back on people listening and said, okay, tell me who are the ones who've been told to cease to desist. Like, TTS took it on themselves to stop. Yeah. Now, I don't watch a lot of the lore stuff like that. I went through the ones I know of today, and they're still up and running. Things uploaded in the last couple of days and stuff like that. So I'm trying to figure out who, apart from the ones who said, would you like to work for us? No. Okay. Well, we're going to have to ask you to stop, because, you're making money off our IP. But if you listen to the community, it just seems like everyone's been shut down.
That's because the community, as they are wont to do, fly off the handle.
Mob mentality.
You know.
Sorry, community. Love us.
I mean, that was one of the first things. That's one of the first things that Alpha Boosa from Text to Speech Device said when he was announcing that they were putting on like a temporary, like a indefinite hiatus. He was like, "Do not flip the fuck out.
Yeah.
I know people are going to do that. I'm asking you not to."
Yeah.
And they did.
They did. Yeah.
Predictably, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he wanted to get it out there and say, I told people not to, so people didn't blame him for the fucking mob.
Yeah.
And they're doing it anyway.
Has Battlescribe been affected by this? No, not at this point.
I thought
No,
someone was saying the other day that they
this morning.
did get one, didn't they?
There was
No,
an
that
update
was
this
a
morning.
spoof.
To be honest, I
Oh.
mean,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if Battlescribe got hit with one. I mean, they've got their own app now. They're flogging their own army builder.
But it's not a pure 40k app. Just got to remember that. It's an app that has multiple games attached to it. And the community is making that index for 40k.
Yeah, but I think at the end of the day, they'll turn around and go, look, this is direct wrote from our books. That constitutes our IP.
Yeah, so one of the conditions...
And I would see... I could totally see 40k being wiped off Battlescribe.
Yeah, so one of the terms and conditions of property is fan sites not post to display rules or stats copied from material. So they could fall under that, yes.
I mean, that's been a rule for a long time in a lot of places.
Yeah.
Like DACA has had that for like a decade longer. That you're not allowed to post points.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm the bad guy here. I think that what they're doing is fine because it's their IP. If people are making money off someone else's IP, they are fully in their right to say no. And some of the money, and I haven't done my full work, there's some of the money I've seen floating around and sort of go, wow, what? Huh?
Yeah, but your stats were wrong. But more importantly, it's their IP. They can do what they want.
Yeah.
It's not a good idea.
Oh, no, I didn't say it was a good idea. I didn't say it was a good idea. But I said they're in their right to do it. And how they do it, well, not the best idea.
I don't think anyone in their right mind is trying to argue that they can't do
I like the
this.
caveat.
Well, yeah, there is always someone, no matter how stupid an idea is, out there, someone has just turned to their friend and said, "Here, hold my beer and watch this."
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, so if you read, not I'm saying go read the intellectual property guidelines, the biggest part is be non-commercial.
No, that's only for art. That is irrelevant to
Fan
animations.
fiction, hobbies, books, fan artwork, fan sites. It's I can't see where it mentions the YouTube side of things in video.
That's because animations are listed under IP infringement at the bottom of it. They're not listed with the other stuff. They're listed in the same category as counterfeit models.
Oh, look, I didn't scroll down.
Yeah. There is no
Fan films
good
and
grace. They
animations,
say we
it's
have
not
a
great
zero
fan films.
tolerance policy.
Wow, they really do. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying people have shit the bed over it, because they're all just like, well, they said right there in black and white that they have absolutely no tolerance and consider it to be counterfeiting, basically. So, you know, someone like Alpha Boosa, who's just had a kid, is like, well, I guess I could try and keep going until they stop me, but I don't need this kind of instability in my life, thanks.
Yeah. Yes.
And that's perfectly reasonable.
Yeah. Well, there
And
you
then
go.
you've got,
So you
you know,
can
the
still do
smaller
the
creators.
fan sites. You can still do your own fan sites. You can do.
It's specifically animations, because they released Warhammer Plus. They put all these animations in there, and now they're like, well, now we make animations, so you can't make animations.
So here's the,
You know, it's like,
here's the
we make models, you can't make models. We make animations, you can't make animations.
correct. You can't make our animations. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not going to compete against people on our own IP.
Yeah. And I know.
Which-
Go on.
Sorry, you carry on.
No, you go on.
Okay, I was going to say, the thing that annoys me about it is it reeks of the video game industry attitude, where they think that, you know, it's the piracy thing. Any pirated copy of a game is a lost sale. You know, they're acting like any existing fan animation is a lost sale of their Warhammer Plus, and that's bullshit.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
And that's just the vibe it gives off to me, and I'm like, that's a dumb business decision, guys.
Well, yeah, they've hired fan animators to go to Warhammer Plus, but to get additional animators, you won't see any content because they're not allowed to.
Yeah,
So-
like they basically used the pool of fan talent to create a new service, and then
kill the fan
murdered
talent.
pool of fan talent.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, what happens if these guys leave?
Yeah.
Where are you going to get the new crop? They're not there anymore because
No,
you
not allowed
banned
to.
They figure they'll just put out a Seek ad and get some.
Well, that's it. That means there'll be.
Yeah.
Well, we know. Well, we're pretty sure that if you're going to go work there, you're not going to have the freedom of your own storyline. You have to follow the law, as in LORE, of Games Workshop when you're working there. You won't have, you know, a start. It's very interesting to see what happens with the starters, because that was their own chapter, their own storyline. So where's that going to go now that he works there?
Well, didn't they announce like what they were all working on, and none of the things they were working on were what they were working on before? Like they've all been put on new things, haven't they?
Sounds
Well,
about right.
I don't think. I think Astartes had been completed anyway. So
Yeah, but it wasn't like, you know, going to be doing more stuff with that chapter. He was put
No.
onto like a actual chapter.
Yeah, that's to say they won't be able to do that. They won't have that freedom of choice.
They
with
don't
what
have
they're
the
working on.
creative control.
Thank you. Freedom
Which is
choice,
where the
creative.
fan websites and fan art they interpret things differently until someone turns around and goes, "No, it doesn't go like that." You know, it's kind of like
I don't know. I
personalization.
dare say they've got input.
Oh yeah, they'd have input, the normal
just
input
won't have
you'd
the final
expect
say.
any creative to
yeah.
have, but they're going to have someone over their shoulder giving them the yes no
Yeah, that's
at the end of the day.
That's not red enough. That's too dark green. I said salamander.
Batman doesn't do that.
Yeah, but I mean, you got to look at the current lore masters. You know, the Dan Abnetts and those guys. I'm pretty sure that, like, if Astartes came up and had a good idea,
Give it to Dan.
they wouldn't.
Oh.
They wouldn't. They wouldn't just shoot it down willy nilly.
That depends on who's in charge.
Yeah.
Really, you would think that if those guys had the kind of say we would like them to have, they would have been like, "This seems like a bad idea, guys."
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I feel like the creatives aren't necessarily in control over
No,
there.
it'd be someone high up and just seeing that dollar mark.
But
And yeah.
the thing is that, I mean, just because these guys have gotten hired by GW doesn't mean that, they knew that other YouTubers and stuff are going to all get shut down.
Oh, no. But there's no...
I'm not saying they knew what would happen.
There's no pointing at that. Their decision for the IP is nothing to do with that creative crew. It's up here. Someone up here is going, hang on, that's not owned by us. Well, it will be now.
It's
somewhere there's a
brand new manager who's got a shiny MBA and wants to make their mark on the company.
Yeah, somewhere there was someone in the copyright law section who was like, "Why aren't we enforcing this? We can."
Yeah.
And then they were like, "Oh shit, that's a good idea. That'll get rid of competition."
Look, we know it's linked to the Warhammer Plus, so they'll be going through. Right, if we're going to do all this, if we're going to charge people this, but all that getting that for free, that doesn't seem right.
Yeah.
And that's where they went.
Why would they pay for this if they can get it for free?
Approach them first, see if they want to work for us, and then
it's
and then
carrot and stick.
You got one guy who said, "Oh, that sounds great. I'll go work for you," and then get absolutely drilled by the community. He said, well, "Fine, sod you. I'm not doing either. I'm out."
Yeah.
Because they were calling him a sellout. Well, if he was still there, you would have still got content from him. Mob mentality.
Yeah,
sometimes.
I mean, look, the problem with communities is communities.
Yeah.
Fandoms are toxic and shitty.
Yeah, that's the point. It's not Warhammer community. There's communities in the whole Warhammer group. So I just want to point that out. We're not all under one rock. Except maybe Adam.
It's a small rock.
I don't want to be under a rock. That would hurt my ribs.
Might be good. Might be a heated rock. Just ease it.
Ooh, lovely heated rock.
Smooth, rounded.
Being held by some Scandinavian goddess for you. How's that?
Sold.
Fair enough.
As I think I said, they're a big company. They are not interested in making money, but money is good. And when you're in there, but it's their brand, and that when legal comes into it, they go, well, what happens if they tarnish it? We'll lose all this money. And you sit back and go on. And then the general managers and all have gone, all right, well, we've got to do something with this. So I'm with Greg. It's their product.
Yeah.
It's their law. It's everything like that. They don't want it to be tarnished.
And they definitely have gotten more protective of people tarnishing the brand. Cough, Arch. They basically went after Arch and excised him from the Warhammer 40k community because he's a shithead. So, that was a good thing in my opinion, but they have become more protective of people in the community damaging the brand.
Yeah.
So it's possible they might be worried about creators damaging the brand. I don't know.
Exactly, and that could be what they want, or they kind of like went, well, they're bringing out a brand new Astartes chapter. That's not right. We haven't thought about this, No, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Look, I could see someone saying it there.
Yeah, exactly. And I could actually see people when it first started. People are sitting at the they're making coffee or brew Monday morning. So, did you see that Astartes thing on YouTube?
Everyone's talking about it.
And everyone's talking, and the boss walks by. What's this?
Why aren't you working?
Yeah.
Get back to the slave mines? What? Hang on. Yeah. Mines. That's just...
Back to your turnips.
Who unlocked your handcuffs? Get back to the desks.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we agree. They've got the right to do it. The way they've gone about it, maybe not so digestible, but
yeah.
And
doing it by just changing their policy and not being super loud about it made it feel kind of dodgy as well. Like, they didn't announce it. It just showed up on their website and everyone was like, where the fuck did that come from?
And they've gone, it's always there.
But at the same time, they have...
could have
Sorry.
No. You.
No.
Like on the other side, they could have like instead of first gone to the Warhammer Plus, they could have gone to these guys and gone, look, we've noticed you're making money on this. Commission, we'll take a percentage of it, and nothing will be done. And they might have gone, nah, well, come and work for us. No,
Well,
shut down.
well, that's what I was going to say. Clearly, they have had some approaching people, because otherwise wouldn't have Astartes working for GW.
GW,
We wouldn't
yeah.
have people say, no, I don't want to. Okay, well, you're going to have to shut it down.
Yeah, they did reach out to a number of animators.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they just sort of didn't seem to have a middle ground between, hey, become one of us, or we're going to sue you into oblivion.
Yeah. And, you know, and what they posted was so no middle ground, you know, salt the earth kind of wording that it had this massive chilling effect on the community. A lot of creators were like, fuck, you know, do I want to keep doing this?
Yeah. It'd be tough. It'd be tough for people who, do this. I don't feel so bad at the ones who are earning a living out of it, because I do think you shouldn't be earning a living out of someone else's IP. But the hobbyist side of things, like,
the real losers are the community.
Yeah.
In this fight, you know, the community loses these content creators.
Yes. And the other repercussion is, okay, so we talked about this when they first announced Warhammer Plus. I said, well, are they going to cut down who this is available to? So if you're going to bring all the animation over to Warhammer Plus, and no one's allowed to do any community stuff on YouTube, how do you bring new people in?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely a good question, because, I mean, you lose that, oh, this is awesome, where can I get more of this type of attitude?
Yeah, I mean, you don't get people being brought in by that fan-created stuff. They only come in through the official channels, you know, come in through the store or not at all.
Yeah. I'll spend my monthly money, just go, what is this?
And, you know, I can see the appeal of someone at corporate being like, well, we want people coming in through the stores, so they spend money.
Yeah.
I can see how someone would think that would be a good idea. And I understand that, you know, some 40k communities on the internet, you don't necessarily want new people coming through there. But I don't think this is necessarily a great idea.
No. It's going to be interesting to see if they continue down this line. They might see an impact. They've got us. We're hooked. I know Adam and I were talking about it the other day, and sort of going, I'm trying to look at all the miniatures I have, going, that investment, there's no way I could just go, I'm not playing GW anymore. Not that I was even thinking that, but there have been people going out there, boycott.
Yeah, there's a lot of people on places like Reddit screeching about boycotts, and there's an equal number of people telling them to shut up and fuck off. You know.
Yeah. So one of the grim dark Reddit threads suddenly became all about Mech Warrior, as in protest.
Well, see, the thing is that I mean, potentially, you could just decide, right, I'm going to play 8th or 7th or 5th or whatever rule set you liked, and just stay in that land forever, and not worry about what GW does.
Yeah, like there's been people doing that with 7th in protest of 8th. You know, I know of people who are doing that, still playing old Warhammer, because they don't like AOS. You know, there are communities doing that for a lot of different games.
Yeah.
So there are places for these people to go.
Yeah.
But the other question that I have is, where does it stop? Because when they cut down the text-to-speech thing,
they didn't. He chose not to. He chose to stop.
Officially had nothing to do with that.
Yeah,
that was Alpha looking at the situation and going, nah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
he was like, I'm going to pause this, and I'm going to do something that won't get me sued.
Yeah. But if you read the comments, GW shut him down.
The comments are stupid.
Yeah. And that's the biggest issue. The mob mentality out there. Be passionate about your hobby. Great. Just don't be fanatical.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who are just super angry.
Yeah.
Well, as I said, you just have to be careful because again, I mean, it could be one of those things where they try to shut down discourse entirely.
So it is interesting you bring up where does it go, because I know I had throwaway line in our private chat. So what about battle reports and what about this, and that's been raised in the rage that's going on at the moment. Because there are, there's a greater number of people who do battle reports on YouTube, and that's a financial gain for them to do. So
because I mean, you got mini wargaming and a bunch of the others.
Yeah. I mean, I don't see that as being at risk.
Well, they're bringing battle reports to Warhammer Plus. They're bringing painting guides to Warhammer Plus. So if they're going to go down the same path, you can't
do the content that we're doing.
Yeah.
At least when it comes to animations and stories, then they can say you're using our characters. If you're just playing the games, that's a lot harder. There's not been a lot of success with, say, like the Let's Play communities on YouTube and stuff. Every time a company tries to shut that down, it doesn't go well. So I mean, if GW has half a brain, they won't come after battle reports because they'll lose if they try.
Yeah.
Then again, I would have said that they wouldn't have done this because it was a flagrantly stupid idea, and they did this anyway.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So
I think
the good ideas fairy has come, and they're giving it a crack.
Yeah, I think the one where there is the most kind of wobble room, I feel, has been like people who do lore videos.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them were kind of like, well, do we count?
Yeah, and I completely understand that because, I mean, a lot of them are basically reading the book.
Yeah, the bad ones are just reading the codexes, you know? And then the good ones, like Oculus, he has a character in the universe, and it's basically a fan animation at that point. So that is even closer to counting. Oculus is like, I'll do it until they tell me to stop. Fuck them. So, there has apparently, though, been a couple, at least one that I know of, lore video creator, who reached out to GW and got an explicit "No, you're fine" from them.
Okay.
Well, that's good, at least.
Yeah. So,
Luton talked about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It wasn't Luton who did it, but someone who did videos like his, but for AOS, contacted GW and was told, "No, you're fine."
Yeah, okay.
So is that where they think they're going to get their new people by listening to lore? But then...
I don't know. That's a good place to get new people.
It's true, but one of the IP conditions is not using their images or their rules.
Yeah, which is why so many lore video people are like, well, we are really right up against the edge of what counts here.
Yeah, because there's a lot of their artwork,
Yeah, they use a lot of artwork. They use some of them do it in character. They use a lot of...
Some of them talk about the rules.
Some of them are like reading verbatim quotes from books.
Yeah.
Like...
Well, the people that bring out, here's a new codex, let's go through it and read out every rule for rule and stuff like that. And
codex reviews and stuff like that.
You can't stop reviews, though. You imagine you stop reviews?
But on the other hand, like a battle report, they could potentially come after it because you're potentially showing models, and the models are their trademark.
I mean, they'd have to come after people for posting models online.
Yeah, Instagram.
They are actively trying to encourage the community to post their models. So that would be a real phenomenally stupid.
So I think the difference with that one is I'm using their model to show how it's played and look how this
And
that would be like the galaxy brain dumb move, though.
Well, it remains to be seen how far they're prepared to press that red button on things. And that's just it. I mean, we've already seen that they've started to bring out some scummier tactics with like the stock shortages and stuff like that as well.
Yeah,
So
I mean, there's a
know,
lot of industries having stock shortages though,
Yeah.
so it's not necessarily them being scummy. I think.
Yeah.
Like there just are production problems worldwide.
Yeah.
You know, have you managed to find a PlayStation 5 yet? I fucking haven't.
oh yeah, but
I haven't
but
looked.
but this
a
is
lot of
plastic.
Here you
industries
go.
are having problems.
No one's complaining about a shortage of plastic.
Yeah, but there are problems with factories being
Factories,
shut
people-
down in
yeah.
China, for example, stuff like that. Like,
Well, even our
fucking-
Sydney warehouse staff can't work there.
yeah,
Hence the reason we
warehouses
can't-
getting shut
yeah.
down, factories getting shut down.
Yeah. So no, but the one thing we did see is that crackdown on the tournaments. No third party, no 3D, no bits
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So we could see they're cramping down on that. No, you must be a GW model if you want to play
Yeah.
a GW endorsed tournament.
You there.
That's
That
a-
piece cost you 20 cents, but it should have cost you $50.
Yeah.
Cannot do it.
That's a consideration I've been running into with my kit bash. I'm like, I've got this really cool third party sword I could use, but do I
Yeah.
want to like ruin the model in terms of taking it to stores or anything like that to have just for the sake of this one fucking sword? Because
Yeah.
I can build him with a different sword, but if I put that sword on him, I can't take him into a store or anything,
Hey,
which is
just
frustrating.
put a
So,
chip in it
so
and
seriously,
put
they
it in.
won't let you bring
You
a
can't
model
put it in.
that,
No, you
that
do
has
that.
a third-party piece on it.
Correct.
Yeah,
What if you sculpted it out of green stuff?
That's fine.
How would they
I
know?
mean,
Green stuff is
That's
used
fine.
your
I
creative.
know I did, but
Yeah.
it's probably pretty obvious I didn't.
Yeah, green stuff's
Just
fine.
tell them that you're that good.
And I ran
How
out
are
of
they
blue,
gonna
that's why it's
prove it?
yellow.
They don't have to. They say leave the store, and you are legally required to.
Yeah,
They don't have to prove anything.
yeah.
It's like you don't have a legal
that
right
seems-
to go in their store.
It seems like a really bad way to foster goodwill toward them. You know what I mean?
Well, it's like I've told the story before that I heard a staff member from somewhere, was it in Wollongong, gloating about how he saw one guy who he thought had a recast model, and he leaned over on the table and snapped the arm off it to prove that it was resin, and then kicked the guy out of the store.
Wow.
See, at
like,
that point, though,
it's
you're
not
liable
new.
for criminal damage at that point.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, there's
So
probably
it's-
arguments about because it's a counterfeit model. Like it's not.
Yeah, but you've broken something that is somebody else's property.
Yeah.
That,
True,
that
but
counts as criminal
depends on-
damage at that point.
It depends on whether or not counterfeiting is against the law. If you're buying like something that's not a legal product, then breaking the law against breaking the law is
Yeah,
a tricky
yeah.
one.
Yeah. I'm gonna get this guy arrested because he stole my heroin. Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
he
but-
stole my heroin, so I punched him.
Yeah.
You know, I want to charge this guy with assault. Why? Because I took his heroin, then he punched me.
Yeah.
You know, it's that kind of argument
Yeah.
you get into. That's why they're probably not going to press that.
Oh, they'll just
I don't
arrest
know
both of them.
Yeah, I don't know if like counterfeit stuff is. I don't know where the legality of that is in Australia,
Nah.
to be honest.
And you got to remember, the people in the stores are just people, but they will have guidelines that they have to adhere to be employees.
Yeah, like that one was because they had guidelines around no recasts. Like they
Yeah.
have.
But going
really
snapping
strict
it, that's a bit
tolerance.
much.
Yeah, leaning over
yeah.
and snapping it was a dickhead move, regardless. Because he
Yeah.
could have been wrong, and then he just snapped a fucking,
Yeah.
a real model.
Well,
But
yeah,
when the cardboard bent, no.
like if some dude did that, I'd punch him.
Yes, I would probably.
Real
have
or
great
not,
difficulty
some
not
dude-
punching it.
Yeah.
Snaps my model. Yeah.
I would not be happy. I would roll my d6 to see if I hit him.
Yeah, it would. I would be the angries, defo.
Oh, you'd be even. You just That's beyond it. But yeah, and as a community, we do need to remember: don't take the rage out on the staff in the stores. They
Yeah,
are people just working there. Yes, they are the face of the company that we see day to day, but they have to go by the rules that they've been given and stuff like that, and they are not the ones who make the decisions.
Yeah, the guys running the Facebook pages, the guys standing behind the counter, they are not making these decisions. They
Correct.
do not deserve being abused.
Absolutely, no one deserves
100%.
abuse. So,
But if one of them steps on your freaking model, then
oh, that's fair game.
yeah, they,
No, we
Yeah.
do not encourage violence.
No, we do not.
This is hypothetical.
They joke a D20 crit. Exactly right.
Large staff members.
I could see this
No,
going in a
no.
law report. So how did this happen? Well, Your Honour, he stood on my model. He's what? He stood on my model, Your Honour.
And the honour goes,
Like,
was it counterfeit?
but pay good money, Your Honour.
And did you paint it, or did you get someone else to paint it? Yeah.
It cost me several Russian rupees. Rupees?
And I
Micro-
saved
I
myself
don't know.
too.
micro pesos.
17,000 bar. How's that?
Actually, how about we go with
12
with
gold.
schmeckles?
Schmeckles. Schmeckles.
Most Russians I've met deal in US dollars anyway.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So where are we? Have we had our... I expected a lot more passion, I've got to be saying. I thought I was going to be the only one saying, no, they're in the right to do what they're doing. The way they're doing it, it's not
I
maybe
think
not
it's
ideal,
furious
but-
agreement.
Furious agreement. I'm so angry,
Yeah,
but they're
we
right!
We agree that they can do it,
Yeah.
and I think we all agree that it's a bad idea.
Yes, for the future of trying to get people in, yeah. But, yeah.
I think it's a heavy-handed thing, but they're all in right to do it.
Yeah. And, how do you not go heavy-handed? It's either on-off when it comes to IP law,
It's
wouldn't
not.
it? No?
It's not. Like, look at you look.
I
At,
don't know.
you
I don't
look
know
at,
the
like
law.
all the examples I just gave you. Of
No, I don't understand what you're
Battletech
talking about.
And Star Trek
Who are you
and
talking
Star
about?
Wars, like none of those go heavy-handed.
No, they
on
don't.
it. Well, actually, Star Trek does have a line. They're like, "This is what you can't call it Star Trek. There are rules for making fan animations and movies."
That's
But
why
yeah,
it's called
they
below decks.
don't. Yeah, they don't do this.
No, this
So-
is... It's pretty extreme.
They could have done this, like as you said. They could have said no monetization of fan animations.
Yeah.
They could have said that, and then they could have CND'd anyone who was earning money.
Yeah.
But they chose not to, and they went beyond that.
Yeah.
Very firmly beyond that. They could have sent in the guard, but they sent in the Carcadons.
Shark
yeah.
people, if you don't know. Yeah. I thought you had something to say there, Adam. You look like you were about to jump up and down.
No, I was nodding and I was laughing.
Oh, sorry. Speak, I'm having a drink.
It's my grey old man beard.
I know, what's that all about? That's another
Oh, I don't
podcast
know.
topic
It's
just there.
it's my homeless. I'm expecting me to get a cardboard sign soon.
Yeah, because you can no longer do fan art. Yep.
Yeah, and tap dancing and all those things.
Yeah. Breakdancing, get your cardboard down.
Mhm.
Yeah, nice. All right. I think we're wrapping up. This feels like we're wrapping up because we seem to have run out of passion. How rude. As I said, I thought it was going to go a bit more, but I think we're all on the same page, which is
Yeah.
nice.
Let's go back to pre-orders.
Fucking
Yeah.
pre-orders.
Oh my god.
I don't
Yes,
think
I
anybody
agree.
in the group is even being one of those militant. No, this is bullshit.
I
We-
was surprised,
they-
yeah, because some of the conversations that I've seen while watching Twitch, some of the conversations I've had while I've been streaming, has been a lot of passion coming out and going,
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I've seen some crazies on Reddit. I haven't
Oh my
encountered
God, yeah.
any in real life.
No.
Yeah, but the
Oh,
Redditors are true keyboard warriors. I'm sorry, I haven't got
Yeah.
keyboard
On
warriors.
Reddit? Yep.
Yep. But our group, there's passion and emotion. But once you kind of like take those two out of the situation, then the reason kind of like goes, okay, well,
Like
Yeah, when you think about it,
I feel like I'm one of the angriest ones in the group, but I feel like I'm also still very rational about it. I think this is fucking ridiculously stupid, but they're within their right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think enough of us have been around long enough that we're
That's
like,
the other thing.
this is how this type of shit shakes out. You know, we've seen it multiple times over the last few decades. So, and I guess that speaks to some of the new people that are coming into 40k is that they haven't experienced the douchebaggery before.
Yeah, they've only seen good Games Workshop. They haven't seen angry early 2000s Games Workshop.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah,
I did
because we
find it
were
hilarious
fools. In
watching,
8th edition, they were doing so well. We was going, oh my god, they've turned a new leaf. Oh, no, they're listing the community. Oh, happy rainbows. Fuck, no, it's grim dark again.
Yeah, and now it's now I need 6 books for my army, and I can only get those books if I pre-order within 15 seconds of them going on pre-order and buy a $500 battle box.
And buy a $90 book for one rule set.
I think we're going into a different topic. I'm not
have
saying
it
you're
as-
wrong.
as
I'm just saying we're
passion,
going
man.
into a different topic.
I have found it hilarious watching like BattleTech lore stuff.
Yeah.
Tex was doing a stream, and he's like, "And I'd like to welcome all of the Warhammer 40,000 fans who've come here seeking refuge." From Games Workshop." And
Now
then
that's knowing your audience.
he was like, "BattleTech community, be nice to these new people. We want to keep them."
Yeah. Well, that's right. New people. Yeah. I think it's going to be the biggest damage they're doing is just getting new people.
Yeah,
Because-
it's turned a lot of people off.
Yeah. And how do you get new people to even see, what is this? What's that? Why is his head missing? What's going on there? Yeah. It's like there's battle reports still out there. There's going to be painting guides and stuff like that. But who sits down to a battle report and go, "Wow, that was exciting. I want to know
Yeah.
more." Oh, every time they watch
Yeah,
us,
like-
clearly, but that's not the point.
With this sultry silver fox beard, how can they turn it down?
Adam's trying to steal that.
Yeah.
Apparently, yeah.
and the blurry dice cam. I mean,
But yeah, like things like Astartes, people saw that and were like, "Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
I would like to know more."
Yeah.
You know,
Oh,
you don't get that from battle reports
no.
as
Or-
much. Not
and-
even lore
Or law.
videos.
No. The
Like,
people watching law want to.
and no one turns around and goes, "Oh yeah, I'll pay $6 a month just on a whim because I don't know what
Yeah.
this thing
Yeah.
is."
they're gonna want to have some really fucking shit hot free teasers,
Yeah.
or else they're not gonna get new people.
They'll get some fan people to animate that.
Yeah, like much as I'm in no danger of boycotting the fucking company, I'm certainly leaning towards boycotting Warhammer Plus.
Yeah, I'm now more inclined to that. I know I don't use the app as it is anymore. I'm sort of, it was fun at the time, but I'm done with it now. Because I think with every new book that comes out, the app is becoming less and less useful for me because more and more is getting locked because I don't have the codexes. Okay.
I'm subscribed in the app, and I think I sat with you, Greg, the other day. I said, if only I could buy the code, the digital code to unlock it on my phone, and go
Instead of
bang.
having to buy the physical book.
Yeah.
Especially in where we are right now. I want to
Well,
buy the
yeah.
codex.
Yeah.
Let me buy a code.
Well,
Joker says,
It's kind of the worst of both worlds right now.
Yeah.
Joker says he's over it, never cared for the first place, the company and their stakeholders. I like their plastic crack and I'll keep buying it. That's the other point. I showed the group, or some of us watched it, a YouTube video by Winter's SEO, a little rant, and one really good message here was, GW is not Warhammer 40k. We, the people listening, watching, playing, is the 40k people. All right? Remember that. Enjoy your game. Enjoy catching up with mates. Enjoy beating them senseless when they, crack one of those dodgy miniatures you own. Hit them. No.
But yeah, I mean, and that's it. Even if you stop buying models, if you never buy another model again, you can you've still got what you've got.
Yeah.
No one's going to come into your house and take your army from your fucking cold dead hands. You know, you can still play your game with your mates. I can still play 90s Necromunda and still do.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes, Wicked Clown, I generally don't do stream raiders during the podcast. Sorry, mate. Yes.
Can you imagine right now we're going to stop just to do the battle?
Yeah. There's too much passion here, Wicked. Too much!
It's too much. You know what this calls for? An epic paladin.
Yeah, I think it's very clear. I think I was happy to watch that because I think it's very valid. We're the ones who play the game. We're the ones who enjoy it or not. Simple. Yes, they will probably hurt themselves in a small way, probably only a small way, because we're still here. And people will still come and play when they walk past doors or go to things like CanCon and see people. What are they doing? You know?
And the only reason the models exist is because we're there to buy them.
Yes.
Otherwise, I wouldn't bother making them.
And look, at the end of the day, it just means someone will only have to buy one Ferrari a year instead of their two.
One Ferrari. Last year I had 37.
Yes. But they were Chinese knockoffs. Half Hobbies, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome. Yes, and someone leant over and broke his rearview mirror. It's fake! Yeah, I think everyone keep calm. Don't take it out on people online, in store, or on any sort of social media. They're not the decision makers. Yes, they're the face of the company, but they're people. Right? You wouldn't want to have them come at you like that.
Yeah, go to Nottingham instead.
Yeah. Is that why they put the big Space Marine out the back now? It's not at the front. Yeah, because it's fake. It's not the real one. It's too big. It's a Chinese knockoff. Cool. I wish David Hasselhoff played 40k. There you go. Half Hobbies has put his point in. But we do have I've gone blank his name. The Witcher. What's his name?
Henry Cavill.
He does play 40k.
He does.
He does.
Didn't Robin Williams as well?
Yes, Robbie Williams. No, Robin Williams.
Robin Williams.
Yeah.
Very different.
Yeah. Sorry, Wicked Clown. I forgot about the blurb. I don't know why that didn't work. I'll have to fix that up next time. You guys have no idea what I'm talking about, but it's fun and exciting. Wicked Clown, thank you so much. Oh, Pronto Hill, thank you. Dancing Chaos Warrior. Am I going to get banned for that?
Probably.
Probably.
It is a fan animation.
It is their IP.
Yeah.
It's like counterfeiting a model.
It's exactly like counterfeiting.
That's no. No.
That's going to be such a meme.
Support Dark Main.
What you need to do is you need to get like a BattleTech robot and put the head of it on top of the Chaos Warrior and say, no, it's not a Chaos Warrior, it's a BattleTech robot.
That's it. Dancing to BattleTech Warrior. Dark Main says, Cavill's brother and mine work together, both officers in the Royal Marines. There you go.
Oh, that's cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. So now, for people who do content, content.
So such a mature.
Oh, I'm very mature.
I do it as well.
Piss fart shit. Will they now have to start thinking about what they're using for their images? Like, you know, we're laughing at the dancing Chaos Warrior saying, hang on. Not that we make money, but it's not animated. It's animated, and it's not a real one, so someone's fan animated that one.
It would be fantastic if we just went dark the instant that Chaos Warrior showed up.
It's all gone.
Bam, takedown strike.
Yeah, and I mean that's the problem, the lack of clarity, because it's so overreaching. It's like, well, at what point are they going to try and enforce it? You know,
And the worst bit is that 40k players are all rules lawyers, so rules is written. So like we're gonna read into it.
Yeah. Actually, Games Workshop, I think you'll find that you cannot enforce your intellectual property because it's currently the command phase, not the morale phase.
I'm sorry, but you've already moved once on this.
You've expended your CP for this phase.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm totally sidetracked.
You're playing with
at the moment.
something.
Yeah, I pressed something and something popped up. Went, well, that wasn't meant to happen.
I thought you were making a joke about me getting blanked out by something.
Yeah, you're the troublemaker. Alright, so I think I fixed what I was trying to do. But I'm going to test it. So, ready? Excited?
It's better be good.
Oh, it didn't work.
You redeem note for 50.
Oh my god.
Technical difficulties, us, what could possibly go wrong?
No, I know why I got that wrong. It's alright.
Actually, C4 just said something as well. If you can't discuss rules, it's stupid.
Get over
Yeah,
here!
like, I mean, they haven't stated explicitly that they're going to ban discussion of rules, but there has been...
There you go. You can now do your thing.
Cool.
Yep.
But yeah, it's like you can't explicitly spell out the rules, I think.
We do that all the time in our podcast.
Well, I mean, we did that one really fucking long podcast, but we didn't like say this is worth this many points and blah 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 blah.
No, I'm pretty sure we did.
Yeah,
Well, you
we
couldn't
didn't go that
use
far.
the units based on what we said. We didn't explicitly explain all of their
Fan
stats.
Well,
Fan
no,
animation. Turn off.
the likeness is so striking.
It's a chaos demon, wasn't it?
But yeah, I mean, I don't like going too rules heavy anyway in these discussions because there's books.
There's books. Yeah, cool. All right. I think we've said everything we want to say. Unless anyone on the sidelines wants to say something.
Yeah.
We're all reading. I don't think it's in the interest
yeah.
financially pursue it. Reviewing is... Yeah, reviewing, they can't chase... Yeah, there's no way they could do reviewing. That's Imagine if they got away with that and then everyone else going, what? As presidents? Well, if I've been shit, I'm going to shut down that review.
I think there's reviewing it, and then there's what some people do, which is literally read every page on video.
Yeah, like people who literally state the rules and claim it's a review, that's not a review. But actual reviews, they have zero chance of ever successfully shutting down.
Yeah.
Like Allspec's Tactics, he does the reviews on the latest model, but he does go through and he doesn't display the whole line. He goes that this model has got this, and in a 33% chance you're going to be spending 20 dice to knock him off the table. He analyzes the rules.
He's math hammering.
He's math hammering, but he's not actually.
Well, you can do all that without posting. Here's the stat block. Here's this. Here's the rules. Here's the points.
Like he was talking about the Grey Knight army. That's the codex that got leaked, and he's gone. Good news, people. They're going to have 2 wounds, and they're going to have 3 attacks in melee. There's anything extra. He goes, I'm not just going to discuss any special rules that these guys are going to have, but you may lose this, but we don't know. You know what I mean? And you sit back going, okay, well, that's, he's not telling anything that no one ever knew.
Yeah. Darkman says math hammering is good. I'm blown away that people who can do it. I go, what? How did you work? What? My dice, it rolls. That's it.
Math hammering is good until it doesn't work well for you, because you're still bound by probability.
Yeah.
And my dice hate me.
Football pundits don't get sued by the FA. No, that's a fair point. Yeah.
Yet.
This could be a
Yeah,
precedent.
There's a lot of people, talking about things that are just not even on the radar of things that could be in trouble, like reviews, battle reports, painting guides. I don't see that stuff as even in a ghost of a chance of being in trouble. It's just things like lore videos and things that are right up against the concepts of fan animation, where there's a lot of wishy-washy, will they, won't they ground.
We're listening, Wicked Clown. What do you have got to say? They just spent points to say, hey, listen. So, something really important, Clown? Put you on the spot now. So the only reason I brought up the battle reports and stuff, because they have it in the Warhammer Plus. Too bad you're not online on my evenings. Oh, it is. So it is too bad. I'll have to work out when I'm working from home, and then I'll be online. Anyway, sidetracked. So that's the only reason that if they would go full hardcore nuts, try and shut down that, because they have it on their Warhammer Plus.
I'd like to believe that this is kind of they've made their move and that's it. But the cynic in me just is like, well, G-Dub's going to G-Dub, so,
Showing the actual page with rules on the screen could be a bad idea. Yeah, just don't do it. Yeah. Change the font, you'll be fine.
Comic Sans for the win.
Wingdings, yeah.
I think you'll find I posted it in Papyrus, which makes the work transformative.
That's it.
And is now fair use.
And I didn't use Microsoft Office. I used OpenOffice.
OpenOffice. Yeah. It's copyrights.
And I repainted the artwork in glorious MS Paint.
Oh yes.
I'm sorry, no, I can't use MS Paint because it's licensed. Used GIMP.
I tried to use the GIMP, but he didn't want to come upstairs.
You don't give him a choice. Way back, Juby went after an author for writing a story about Spots the Space Marine, and that gave him a ton of shit for Spot the Space Marine. I want to read that book.
That's getting a Google immediately after this finishes.
You can just imagine they go so hardcore with battle reports, and they pick out, that wasn't painted with Citadel paint. You can't use that. That's using army paint.
What have they got? Spectroscopy or something to check?
We don't own that paint. I know, because it's better. Yeah.
I can tell based on the fact that you only needed to do one coat of that and it's got actual coverage that that's a Vallejo paint.
Yes, that's it.
The hue of that is Cote d'Arms, not Citadel.
Anyway, she was a middle-aged woman trying to manage her family life while being a US Space Marine. Okay, fair enough. That was the story of Spots the Space Marine. She was a middle-aged woman trying to manage her family life while being a US Space Marine.
I don't know. All I got was the crabs are coming.
What?
They're coming. Spots the Space Marine, defense of the fiddler.
Anyway.
Don't Google defense of the fiddler. The crabs are coming. That will get you entirely the wrong website.
Just hit that I'm feeling lucky thing. Don't listen to those guys. We'll just watch him turn white.
Or slowly turn his camera off after he has a quick, big smile. Ooh! Click.
Oh, red tube.
Alright, we're going to sign off because it's just... Someone said red tubes, so we're definitely leaving.
Yeah.
Yes. Alright, so we all agree, yes, they're in their rights. The way they're going about it, not the best way for the community to keep calm, but the biggest part is, please keep calm. Keep playing your games, keep painting your models, keep enjoying having fun with your mates about the game 40k, Age of Sigma as well. See, it was even hard to say. Age of Sigma. Because It doesn't affect the game, right? It's just the way they're going to go about it. Yes, it's going to be tough to see cool stuff on YouTube.
Don't subscribe or buy anything unless you really want to.
That's it.
Except for the fine products at RLG's.
We are getting more content up. It's good. You can check out the RLG Facebook page.
Quick,
There's
link
more
the
video
store.
game stuff going. Yeah, there is a store. Oh wow, there is a
Hasn't been
store.
linked.
Thank you. I just realised that too. Talk amongst yourselves. No, seriously, talk amongst yourselves.
Cue the waiting music while he
Or the-
types.
Or the elevator.
Copyright strike.
Alright, you can in fact get some RLG merchandise, including mugs, t-shirts, hats, and the red belly thongs.
Woo!
Not
That sounds
thong,
terrifying.
thongs. Flip-flops,
better.
jandals.
Yeah,
wherever
you
you're
got
at
to be
in the
careful because
No,
most
I
of
don't.
our listeners aren't from Australia.
Yeah.
They'll think that's a very different thing, and I don't want to think about that.
No.
Greg
you
shows up to
doing?
the next stream just wearing his red belly thong.
You're welcome, world. I have been, I've been painting a lot of Drakari. It's got to get somewhere. Cool.
All right.
Final Jeopardy. What? All right, so we're going to sign off. We've had fun. As I said, I thought the passion was going to be louder, but it's been good. Can I get that Red Belly Only fans link after the show, mate? Hey, g'day, Dead Nerve. Off hobbies, yes, please. Ooh, hello. Can we make an all money somewhere? Yeah, while wearing a Space Marine helmet. Oh, I might get pulled down for that.
Anyway,
I've got a Fallout helmet I can lend you.
Stormtrooper helmet.
it's mold free.
Oh,
Yes, mine is mold free. I have the non-deadly mold version.
Is it a skinny strap thong? See, now everyone thinks it is a strong thong. Calendar boys.
Oh.
Yes, we'll do the RLG calendar for next
no.
year.
Oh.
I don't think anyone wants to see me in a nudie calendar again.
Again.
Uh,
We're going to go away now. Adam, please sign off. Say bye, in fact.
Good night. Goodbye.
Mark, say goodnight.
bye, everyone. Sorry for that image.
I will also say goodnight, and I want to say thank you to everyone who joined us in the conversation. We do know there's going to be a fairly passionate one, so it was good. No one needed to be banned. Looking at you, Michael. That was good. And it's good. Wonderful. I will be back Tuesday night, Thursday night. Of course, this Hobby Night. You'll follow the Kit Bash challenge that is on at the moment for the RLG group. Everyone is welcome to join us with the Kit Bash challenge. You can find the Kit Bash challenge week 2, as we're recording this, is up at the moment on the Facebook page, RLG40K. Oh no, I've just given away the link, so I can't test someone now. So please join us. It would be awesome. Oh, look at that. It just happened to hit the Facebook page link, just happened to hit chat just then. It was perfect timing. So, yeah, that's me. I'm going to say goodnight. I'm going to leave it up to Michael to get us out of here. Take it away, Mike.
It may not be the end of the world as we know it, but we don't feel fine. But hey, I'm sure it'll be fine, right? Join us next month for more Wobbly Player Syndrome!